Okay, this is lesson 9.3. This is the last lesson in module 9. This lesson is called Order of Operations. Okay, so we use this acronym GEMDOS for a reminder of what the right order of operations is. Okay, we call this GEMDOS. Let's talk about what that means. Okay, so when we have an expression that has many operations in it, we have to figure out what operation to do first. GEMDOS tells us what we need to do first. Number one, we're going to perform operations in groupings. So the G in GEMDOS stands for groupings, okay? And groupings are things like parentheses, brackets, absolute value symbols. Those are all groupings, okay? So any operation inside, if there's an operation inside of a grouping, you do those operations first, okay? Then the next operation is you're going to find the value of numbers with exponents. The E in GEMDOS stands for exponents, okay? So E, the next thing is exponents. So groupings first, any operations inside of a grouping, exponents next. Then you're going to multiply M or divide D, M and D, from left to right. So multiplication and division happen at the same time. You just do them from left to right, in order from left to right, okay? Last but not least, you add A or subtract S, okay? Add or subtract, again, from left to right. So addition and subtraction are last, but you do them at the same time from left to right, okay? You do them at the same step. All right, so now that we know what order we do things in, let's practice. So you're going to see things that say simplify expressions, and sometimes they say evaluate the expression. Basically, when you simplify, you are going to write the expression with as few terms as possible. So you're going to make it as short as you can possibly make it. Now, terms are parts of an expression that are separated by addition or subtraction. So anything that's being added together or subtracted, those are terms, okay? So you want as few terms as possible. So in this numeric expression, we have some terms. So we have 5 plus this term here. This is a term because there's no addition or subtraction in there. Whatever is separated by adding and subtracting, that's a term. So 5 is a term, and then 18 divided by 3 squared is a term, okay? So we're going to follow the order of operations. It says groupings come first, but I don't have any groupings. So I'm going to skip groupings and go next to exponents. And I do have an exponent here. It's right there, and that means 3 times 3, okay? So I'm going to rewrite my expression using the answer to 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to do the 3 times 3. And then I rewrite my expression with the 9 in there. The next thing after exponents, it says multiply or divide from left to right. Well, that's addition, so I'm not doing that. There's division, so I'm doing that next, right there. That's my next operation. So 18 divided by 9 is 2, and I'm going to add that to the 5, okay? Last but not least, I'm going to do addition or subtraction. So the final term is 7. So I took that entire expression and made it all the way down to 1 term, okay? Or 1 number. All right, that is following the order of operations to get the right number at the end. So here is 21 plus 3 to the 3rd power, or 3 cubed, divided by 3. Remember, the fraction bar is a division bar. So that says 3 to the 3rd power divided by 3. So again, no groupings here, but I'm going to do the exponent first. So this exponent says 3 times 3 times 3, okay? So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So this is actually 27 divided by 3, and I add that to 21. Okay? So what I have left is addition and division. This is a division problem, 27 divided by 3. And the order of operations says multiplication and division come next. So I'm going to do this next, 27 divided by 3. 27 divided by 3 is 9. And then I'm going to add it to 21. 21 plus 9 is 30. Okay? And that is following the order of operations in the right order to get the right answer. All right? Now, let's do this last one. I have 6 times, this little dot right here is multiplication. And we're starting to get away from using what looks like an X to mean multiplication. We're going to stop using an X to mean multiplication because pretty soon we'll be in algebra and the X will be a letter that stands for a different number. It won't be multiplication anymore. We're going to start moving away from using that. So this is 6 times 2 to the 3rd power, or 2 cubed, divided by 3 plus 1. So again, no grouping, so we're going to do our exponent first. That is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So this is 8. So it's 6 times 8 divided by 3 plus 1. Now, the next thing that the GEMDAS says is after exponents, we do multiplication and division at the same time from left to right. So I have a multiplication and a division. So I need to do them at the same time from left to right. 6 times 8 is 48 divided by 3 plus 1. I do the division next. 48 divided by 3 is 16. Okay? And then I do the plus 1. And then that's 17. So the order of operations went exponent, then multiplication, then division, and then the addition is last. Okay? So GEMDAS just tells you when you have a long expression like this with many operations, which operations to do first. Start with groupings. If there are no groupings, move on to exponents. Evaluate your exponent first. Then if there's no exponents, you move on to multiplication and division at the same time from left to right. Then you move on to addition and subtraction from left to right. You're always adding and subtracting last, okay? So let's move on now to we're going to simplify using exponents with groupings, okay? So now we have exponents and groupings. In the first section, we didn't have any groupings, but now we do, okay? So let's see how this works. This says 4 times 9 divided by 3 to the 2nd power. So this power is for everything in the grouping. So you remember, you're always going to do grouping first. So 9 divided by 3 is what you're going to do first. 9 divided by 3 is 3 to the 2nd power, and then we're going to multiply that times 4. Okay? Now we're going to do this exponent next. Now that the grouping's gone, exponent is next. So that's 3 times 3, which is 9. And then we're going to multiply that 9 times 4. 4 times 9 is 36. Okay? This is order of operations, doing the grouping first, then the exponent, then the multiplication. All right, let's do another one. This is 5 to the 3rd power, or 5 cubed, plus 12 minus 2 to the 2nd power. I'm going to do the grouping first. 12 minus 2 is 10, and that's to the 2nd power. And I'm going to add that to 5 cubed. Now I have 2 exponents. So I'm going to do them both right now. This is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. And this is 10 times 10, which is 100. And we're adding those. So now I'm going to add those together, and I get 225. Okay? Last but not least, here's another one. I have a grouping exponent, and that is the top of the fraction, which is division, and then we have addition. So it's 8 plus 12 minus 8 to the 2nd power divided by 2. So we're going to do the grouping first. 12 minus 8 is 4, and that's going to be to the 2nd power divided by 2 plus 8. So once I do the operation, I did the grouping, I just rewrite the rest of the problem. Okay, I'm doing one step at a time. I do the operation inside the parentheses first. 12 minus 8 is 4. Then I just fill in the rest of the problem. 4 to the second power divided by 2 plus 8. Okay. Order of operations says I do this exponent next. So this is 4 times 4, which is 16. So now I'm going to rewrite the problem with 16 there. 16 divided by 2 plus 8. Order of operations says I do division before addition. So I'm going to do this division first. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So 8 plus 8 is 16. Okay. So that is basically using the rule of GEMDAS, which is the rule of the order of operations, to follow the operations that come first, groupings, next exponents, next multiplication or division from left to right, and last addition and subtraction from left. And that is using order of operations to simplify expressions.